Okay, so good afternoon from wherever you're viewing us from. This is group 20, and for our project, we'll be talking about the application of calculus in business optimization. So derivatives in calculus, otherwise known as the change in one variable relative to change in another, are identical to the business concept of optimization and marginalism, which examines the change in an outcome result from a single unit increase in another variable. So first of all, we'll define the most important terms within our application. So a business refers to any organization or enterprising entity engaging in commercial activities of making income. And then mathematical optimization refers to a detailed technology that allows business enterprises to solve difficult business-related problems while maximizing profits. And then revenue is all the income that a business generates during a specific period of time. So now we'll go to the background and justification. So calculus is an advanced mathematical science that speaks a single universal language across the world, and it has been around for the longest time. And although its initial sources are debatable, a lot of interesting facts around it. So for any individual who has never come across the concept of calculus in business, I think that it is an ambiguous idea because it applies across a wide range of business elements. So there are some important things that a new person should know about calculus. The first one being that it's a mathematical science. And when applied in business, it primarily focuses on how things change over time and basically gives shareholders in an organization the ability to discover changing conditions within their businesses and let them control entrepreneurial systems to make the business thrive in a desired manner. So the next thing we'll be talking about is the statement of the problem. So like we already mentioned, revenue refers to all the money that a business brings in during a specific time period. And it is common that businesses report revenue on a quarterly basis, which means that there are 4 quarters in a year. So revenue is usually reported 4 times in a year. And if expenses remain stable, a business's revenue can be a good indicator of its health. Now, derivatives in calculus, otherwise known as change in one variable relative to change in another, are applied in business optimization to describe small increment changes in factors such as time and production. So basically, by determining marginal revenue and cost, the concept of calculus can help businesses, enterprises maximize their profits and depict the rate of increase in production. So in summary, if the marginal revenue of any business exceeds the marginal cost, then the business is expected to increase its profits. And that is where the entire concept of calculus comes in business optimization. So I'll pass it over to Marion to continue.
Okay, thank you, Pet. So we are having a real life example because we have said that it is very important in business optimization. And for instance, for an apartment complex that has 250 apartments to rent, if they rent X apartments, then their monthly profit in dollars is given by P into X, -8 X squared plus 3,200 X minus 800,000. So the question is, how many apartments should they rent in order to maximize profits? So how to tackle this problem, we'll have first to know what we're being asked, which is to maximize profit subject to the constraint that must be in the range of the constraint, which is X, it should be less than or equal to 0 or less than or equal to 250. And then we'll need to get the derivative and the critical points that fall in the range. I'm going to invite Marshawn to take us through the research.
We have seen calculus is basically focuses heavily on functions and derivatives, and in the functions mainly examine the relationship between variables, of which, as seen in the question above, we can try to get the relation between the two dependent variables and the independent variable. So differential calculus is what we use in optimization where we are trying to maximize the profits while minimizing the costs. And we also use derivatives to where we consider the change of one variable relative to the other. For example, in the case where we are trying to see if there is increase of income with increase in years of experience, or whether with increase of your number of years, the levels of education, there's also an increase in income. So that's how we use derivatives in calculus in business. Other applications of calculus is business is to calculate marginal profit. We also have marginal revenue. We also use it to measure profit and measuring revenue. Calculus is also used to identify consumer surplus and producer surplus, where by getting the minimum and the maximum cost, you can know how much of a product to produce and how much to supply to the consumer for maximum profits. And yeah, so for the steps for optimizations, you can either use the human, you can do it by yourself, but you can also use, there are basically many algorithms which have been developed to make it easier. These include the Calculus Pro, we have the Mathway, the Quick Math, the Algeo Graphing Calculator, the Wolfram Alpha, and the MATLAB. And I can pass the mic to my next colleague who will show how these technologies are used to optimize. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Coming to assumption being made by when using differentiation calculus in business. Now, the assumption that the producers made is that the wish for a new profit is that because since they have a lower prices, so that will make them to set up a business, then they end up going to another different places so that they optimize and get more profit. Then the second assumption is resources. The resources, they look for more employees that will pay the needs, and that one will make the demand to be higher. Then based on the competition, producers tends to go to where they will have lower competition compared to places like the cities where they will have higher competition, and later on they will end up losing their market. And the second thing is, the fourth thing is economic and political stability. Most of the producers or firms go to where there's good economics and political, and where everything is quiet, so that they optimize profit when selling their products to customers without fear and having the fears of losses at a particular time. Then coming to customer base, now the assumption from producers that based on the products, they assume that customers will go and buy their products based on what they have bought from the market, so that they reduce the competition in the market. Yeah, coming to marketing, yeah, when coming to marketing, they also tend that based on the products they have brought in the market, they assume that all the channels will be attracted to their products. Since this is new, and all the customers will be attracted to, all the customers and the channels will be attracted by the products. Then coming to limitation based on the assumption being made, the first thing is that when products are brought in the market at larger quality, and many of them tend to be the same. So customers customers lose hope of saying that all the products are the same, so they don't tend to buy expensive brands, since they end up going back to a brand with less prices, and that one makes most of the products to be most of the consumers, most of the products or producers to lose profit and other things. Then coming to the expensive goods and resources, most of the consumers go to where good are sold at lower prices. So most of the producers tend and lose credibility from customers because they always change prices at any time, and over differentiation of products lead to exclusion of customers, because when a producer bring many products in the same place. Now, for example, like a producer may be selling child clothes at a particular time, then later on it will bring adult clothes at any time. So consumers tend to confuse. Then now they end up going to another place than going to the same place. Then and over introduction of goods in the same market also now also make other producers to lose market, because when another producer bring a unique product in the market, then it lowers the products which were in the market before. Then the substitution in prices in the market also reduces the quality of prices in the market, since consumers will go to less prices, to goods which are sold at less prices, since that they optimize their profit. Then coming to solution part, now producers should first make research on what should make them unique in the market. Say that when they bring good in the market, they should not make losses, but they should optimize profit at a particular time. And also, like both new and all producers, they should first study what customers love, so that at any time when prices changes, then customers will also tend to buy. So those they either lower or higher prices. Then OSPEM or producers should also not bring different products in the same place, but they should allocate them in different places, so that customers should not realize that this person is producing the same products. And also, like the existing products or producers, existing producers should always expand their products, say that when a new products come, they should not be overcome by they should not be have problem with competition. And the other thing is, like, business people should also assess the differences in prices, say that when any changes in prices comes, then they should not be affected. Yeah, I would like to let Spencer go on.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to take you through using technology, the application of calculus in business. As mentioned earlier, we've seen that technology, there are a variety of technologies that can be used in the application of calculus in different scenarios. So in our case, for example, we have a question. So we have a question, this business person owns an apartment complex that has 250 apartments to rent. So he wants to rent a certain amount of the apartment so that he can make a profit. And the function that is given here, which is this P of X, which is the function, basically consists of the expenditure and the X here who stand for the apartments that should be rented out, so that the person can get like the specified profit. So we'll use Wolfram Alpha as one of our technologies, but there are other technologies as mentioned earlier. So in our Wolfram Alpha, we just input the function, and then we state that we are working for the derivative because we want to find the value of X. And as stated earlier that the value of X should be between 0, either the person should sell a 0 apartment that is not renting out, or rent out a maximum of 250 apartments so that he can get, so that the person, the client, can get the maximum profits. So since he wants to calculate the maximum profits, and since there are other like factors that determine the profit, we can't just tell the client to sell all the apartments to so that they can get the profit that is needed. So we need to factor in all the other factors. Maybe there is maintenance costs, maybe there is electricity bills that maybe the client is paying for, and maybe renting out all the 250 apartments won't be necessarily a good idea. So we want to apply calculus to get the derivatives and to find out the value of X. Basically, it will help us to know the range or the number of apartments, so that the number of apartments that the user can sell, so that she or he can get the maximum profits. So we just apply, we use Wolfram Alpha, we apply functions. We put the function here. This one is the one that contains all the other factors and the building, so that you can find out what the number of apartments that the person can sell. And then we input, we say we are looking for derivatives. So the good thing about Wolfram Alpha is that it will calculate it for us, and after a few seconds, it brings out the output. So as you can see here, we have found that our value of X is equal to 200. This shows that, and since 200 is within our range, that is between 0 and 250, and it shows that the client can sell a maximum, can sell 200 houses, or can rent out 200 houses to get the maximum profit for her business. So the steps are included here. First, it finds the derivative of this function over here, and then it equates the values to 0, so that it can find the value of X. Basically the steps are hidden. If we want to see all the steps, we have to like subscribe to the premium version. But yeah, so this just shows us how easy it is nowadays to use calculus and to use derivatives and to use its models in solving the real world situation. Like, so this one can really help a client to like find out on the maximum amount of profit that the person should make. So these are the references of our research, and thank you very much. Have a great day.